understanding Booleans in any programming language is a fundamental part of programming. And for that reason, it's super important to understand when to use Booleans and why to use Booleans and basically what they are. So if you are new to programming, then a Boolean is nothing more than true or false, right? It's a binary thing. And in Swift, it is only true and false. I want to make this clear. It is not on or off, it is not 1 or 0, it is not yes or no, it is not opposites, all right? It is only true and false, and it can only be symbolized with the type of true and false, as you can see here. Other programming languages, you can use 1 and you can use 0, you can use the string version of true, you can use the string version of false, and so on. But Swift is very strict in this manner, and it only allows true and false. So if you do try and use 1 or 0 in some form of control flow where you want to check if something is true or false, then you are going to get some form of compile error, all right? It's not going to be a runtime error, it's going to be a compile error. So what we have here right now is just two variables, one using type annotation and the other one using type inference. And we've got two constants, understands Boolean, and we've got here is equal to true, and understands control flow is equal to false, all right? And as we go through the control flow here, we see if understands Boolean and understands control flow. So it means that both of these have got to be true to come to this path. Then we would see, yes, I understand Booleans and control flow. Now, if this is not true, so if both of these are not true, and they have to be both true, then we're going to come to the next test and say, else if understands Boolean is equal to true. And as we can see here, we do have understands Boolean is equal to true. So this one is going to pass, and it's going to come, yes, I understand Boolean. And that is then the if, else, else, if, else statement is then done. And it's just going to go on. So if we run this and let it go, you'll see that it says, yes, I understand Booleans, right? So if we now make it to be both false, we know that this both needs to be true, so this is going to fail. Understands Boolean is false, is going to fail. Understands control flow is going to fail because it's false. And so the only thing left to do is then, no, I do not understand Booleans and control flow. So when we run this, you'll see, no, I do not understand Booleans and control flow. So then if we just come to understands control flow is equal to true, then you can see here that we're going to come to if understands control flow. So this is a way of being able to test if something has or hasn't happened, right? So if we said then is 2 less than 3, this would be an expression testing whether 2 is less than 3, and we know that is true. So in this sense, understands control flow is going to be 2 is less than 3 is going to be true. So we would expect else if understands control flow, yes, I understand control flow, right? And if 3 is equal to 3, right, then we know that 3 is equal to 3, so it's going to be true. They're both going to be true. And you can see here, yes, I understand Booleans and control flow. So any form of expression that results in a Boolean value, right, can be passed to a Boolean thing. So we can say at any one point here, we could remove this and say 2 is less than 3. This is an expression wrapped in the brackets, which is going to equate to a Boolean value as well. So we don't necessarily have to assign it to a variable to do this. So this is where Booleans and also control flow come into the use. That's why this video is not about control flow, but it's about Booleans, and it's a best practice to you can put the information in like this, or you can do it in a variable. Whoops. Now, obviously, in a variable, it's cleaner code, all right? You put it into here, and then you can see inside of your code, it's more of a sentence. If I understand control flow, and if I understand control flow, and I understand, if I understand Boolean and understand control flow, then you're going to do this. It's a lot more declarative, all right? So that is basically Booleans in a nutshell. Now, to dive just one step deeper into this, you can see that a Boolean is a struct type, okay? And if you just scroll through, you can see the different properties that it has here. But this is not the point of the video to look real deep into it. It's just an introduction to Booleans and so on. So if you ever have anything that you want to check, then this is how to check if something is true or false. All right, and remember that if we just said if one and understands control flow, you can see here integer literal 1 cannot be used as a Boolean. Did you mean true? And we can't here either say if true and understands control flow. Okay, so this string doesn't make it correct. All right. So this is something that you have to understand. A Boolean is always only a Boolean, and it can only ever be true or false, or an expression that it creates true or false. All right. With that said, let's just change this back. With that said, I hope that you've got something out of this one video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. And if you do have any questions, concerns, feedback, or anything like that, please let's start a conversation in the comments section down below. With that said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao, and goodbye.